did Jimin leave without speaking? Jungkook couldn't hold back his tears. The world of K-pop is once again rocked by the heartrending story of two figures who never escape the public's attention: BTS's Jimin and Jungkook. This time it was not about a grandiose stage or musical feat, but rather about an emotional story that shocked many: Jimin's sudden departure without a word to Jungkook. And even more heartbreaking is the reaction of Jungkook, who was caught on camera unable to hold back his tears after finding out Jimin was really gone. The big question arises: why did Jimin leave without speaking? And what exactly is going on behind the scenes so that these two close friends seem to be moving away from each other in silence in recent days? Fans have been surprised by Jimin's absence from some of the personal schedules that had originally been anticipated. He is also not active on any social platforms. No updates, no explanation. Jimin, who was known to be warm and full of smiles, seemed to disappear without a trace. Jungkook himself was seen alone in one of the private activities he usually did with Jimin. When asked by his close staff about Jimin's absence, Jungkook simply replied softly, "I don't know where he went." He didn't say anything to me. That answer surprised many, especially ARMY, who knew how close the two of them were. Jungkook's ignorance not only left the public wondering, but also signaled that something unusual was going on between the two. The peak of emotion occurred when Jungkook was caught on camera in one of the moments of personal training. In a short video leaked from an inside source, Jungkook is seen sitting alone in a corner of the studio with his face downcast. The sound of sobs sounded slow but clear. Some of the staff tried to get closer, but Jungkook raised his hand slowly, asking to be left alone. He didn't say goodbye, he just left, she whispers in the footage, before finally covering her face with her hands and sobbing again. The moment instantly made the ARMY all over the world flood social media with the hashtags #StayStrongJungkook and #WhereIsJimin. Thousands of messages of support were sent to Jungkook, hoping the magnate could get through the sudden loss. The news of Jimin's unannounced departure from Jungkook immediately led to various speculations. Some fans suspect that this is a result of the enormous pressure Jimin is facing after serving his military service and trying to readjust to the entertainment world. Others assumed that the difference in views between him and Jungkook in planning future projects caused an emotional distance between them. However, others believe that Jimin's departure is a form of sacrifice, staying away so as not to burden Jungkook, who is also going through difficult times personally. One fan wrote, "Sometimes people leave not because they don't love, but because they don't want to be a burden." Perhaps Jimin feels he needs some alone time, and Jungkook is the last person he wants to hurt. But instead of talking, the wound deepened. Although Jimin disappeared without news, fans discovered that he had played the song Promise on his streaming account, a song he wrote himself while being overwhelmed by feelings of sadness and longing. Not only that, Jungkook wrote a few days after the incident on his personal account, "If you need a place to go back, you know where I am." Those words touched many hearts. It was as if Jungkook was still opening the door wide for Jimin, no matter how far he went or how deeply he was hurt. Behind her tears, there was unwavering love and loyalty. In the midst of Jimin's silence that still has not appeared to the public, fans began to look for clues or signs of all possibilities. Although he has not posted anything officially, ARMY found suspicious activity on his personal music account. There is one song that has been played repeatedly in recent days, "Still With You." Jungkook's solo song filled with lyrics about loyalty and hope of being together again. For many, this is no coincidence. For fans, it was a silent call from Jimin, a hidden message that is understood only by those people who have been following the emotional relationship of the two of them. As if Jimin wanted to say, "I haven't really left yet. I just need some time." Shortly after, Jungkook was also seen holding a small pendant while on his way to the training site. The pendant is very similar to the necklace they once wore together at one of the BTS Festa events a few years ago. Small moments like this provide solace for ARMY, fostering hope that even though words have not been spoken, the bond between the two has not completely disappeared, interestingly. Until now, the other BTS members have not commented directly on the situation of Jimin and Jungkook. RM and Jin, who are usually active in responding, instead chose to be silent. However, their silence is not without meaning. A staff member close to the team mentioned that the members actually knew what was going on, but they appreciated Jimin and Jungkook's personal space. Suga, in a recent radio broadcast session, had mentioned, "Sometimes even the closest can misunderstand. But if the foundations are strong, time will bring them together again." That sentence was perceived by many fans as an indirect reference to Jimin and Jungkook's situation. The most painful and frightening question for fans at the moment is, will Jimin's departure mean the end of the bond so beloved by the public? Or is it just a calm phase before the storm of emotions subsides and they come back stronger than before? Korean cultural analyst Park Ji-yoon wrote in an article that the story reflects the severity of idols' mental distress. Sometimes people forget they are human. They can be disappointed, can feel tired, and can choose silence as a form of survival. But he is also optimistic that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is not over. Seeing how they have been taking care of each other all this time, I believe this silence is a pause, not farewell. On social media, waves of support continued to pour in. Fans from around the world uploaded messages of encouragement, collages of Jimin and Jungkook's memories, and quotes depicting friendship and love that stood the test. In fact, some of the big fan bases are rallying a solidarity campaign titled #AlwaysWithJim Jungkook, which aims to collect messages of love and hope for both of them. A very touching letter reads, "You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be together, but you will always be each other's home. You can get hurt, but never feel alone." This story is not finished. There is probably no happy ending to be written today. But in every cry, in every silent step taken, there is a lesson about love, about sacrifice, and about how human beings process. If it is true that Jimin left for personal reasons that he has not been able to convey, and Jungkook is crying because of such a deep loss, then this story is not just a celebrity drama. It is a true story of two hearts bound by time, memories, and affection that cannot be broken only by distance. The ARMY believes Jimin will return. Jungkook will wait. And when they meet again, whether in a song, a hug, or even just a smile, the world will greet them with happy tears. True love never really goes away. He was silent for a moment, to come back stronger than ever. This story is not about an angry breakup. It's about two hearts that still care for each other, but separated by wounds and silence. Jimin's departure may not be forever, and Jungkook's tears are proof that deep love can't always be put into words. ARMY now can only hope that time will bring the two back to the point where they can look at each other and say, "I'm still here." And until that day comes, the world will continue to wait. Because the story of Jimin and Jungkook is not just a celebrity story, but about two souls who grew up together in a storm and maybe will come back together when the sky finally calms down.